Every 18 months or so, there is a natural phenomenon that occurs worldwide for vanilla World of Warcraft enjoyers. A migration of sorts, but not a migration north, east, south, or west. This is a migration back in time, because pretty much whatever version of World of Warcraft, or indeed whatever game is out at the moment, they're gonna start to get that feeling that they want to go back to where it all began, back to vanilla. We have replayed the original trilogy at this point in time, and whilst each game certainly has their good and not so good parts, it is hard to match up to the original flavour, and to the allure of a brand new server and a start where everyone is on the same footing.
Do you think anyone on the classic dev team is like upset that people are going back to classic era rather than playing SOD? Do you think that they are like, why aren't they playing SOD? We made it so much better. We made it better. We added incursions. It's way better. Do you think?
So today I'm going to be talking about what's currently going on in the classic scene in regards to Fresh, and how you could join this movement now if that is something that you have been thinking about doing, and ultimately why this has happened now and where it's likely to lead. With all that said though, let's make a start. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online just had its most recent major content update, the Gold Road, adding in hours of story content to its already expansive universe and tons of new features. The new zone, the West Weald, is a throwback to Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and includes areas such as the Gold Road, Dawnwood, Wildburn, and the Colovian Highlands. This new zone offers a...
So isn't Skyrim is also Elder Scrolls, right? It's just different games.
variety of new content from characters, challenges, delves, public dungeons, world events, and more. Gold Road features a brand new gameplay system too called scribing. This allows players to gather and customize magical skill through grimoires, which can be used to further modify existing skill lines. The new story arc features the return of a mysterious Daedric prince, Ithelia, who is bent upon unleashing chaos upon Tamriel. And there is a new 12-player trial too, the Lucent Citadel, for the PvE enjoyers. There'll be all this and tons more to explore, so click the link below and check out Elder Scrolls Online and the Gold Road update, as well as all of its features today. Many thanks to Elder Scrolls Online for the sponsor today. Let's get back to WoW. So at this point, it's been near enough 5 years since Blizzard did their own World of Warcraft Classic release, back around September of 2019. And though Vanilla's never really gone away, as TBC and Wrath of the Lich King have, it's never reset either. It's never strictly just been a no...
Look at that. Darthus of Fresh Invictus. That's right.
Strictly just been a no changes Fresh. We've had Classic Era since we moved to TBC, that's gained a fair bit of popularity and has a stable pop.
So, I want to show you guys something. This is something that we spoke about yesterday, but this is worth bringing up again. Classic SOD. Okay, here's what I want to show all of you guys today. This is Cataclysm. Cataclysm has already had its Phase 1 peak. And Cataclysm is on the decline. It peaked and now it's coming down. Season of Discovery is obviously where it is. It has been declining now for, I don't know, fucking like 10 weeks in a row. The only version of World of Warcraft that is currently on the incline. The only single version of World of Warcraft that is actively growing, ever so slightly, is Classic Era, the 20-year-old version. And what did Blizzard say to that? They said, yeah, we're gonna fuck that up too. They said, yeah, this is the one version of WoW that isn't all fucked up that people actually want to play. We're going to port it over to the Cata client and fuck that one up too. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Population, and Blizzard have tried adding a bunch of different toppings to the vanilla flavor from other game modes, from Hardcore, Season of Mastery, and the ongoing Season of Discovery.
You know why people loved Hardcore? You know why Hardcore was so awesome? Hardcore was a movement. You know why? It's because Hardcore was vanilla. It was vanilla. They didn't change any. It was just vanilla with one life. It's vanilla.
But typically the vanilla people keep coming back for is kind of none of the above. It's the fresh option. And fresh...
Here's what I think, man. Like, dude, they need to do a hardcore fresh also. We need an OG no changes fresh, but also, hey, a hardcore fresh at some point would be fucking cool too. They really should.
Has been the vehicle that's been getting people back into this game again and again for well over a decade now. And though Blizzard has not jumped on this bandwagon to actively provide fresh, the players have said, fine, we'll do it ourselves. And there have been 2 servers that have been picked for this fresh movement. You have Deviant Delight on North America and Zandalar Tribe on EU. Note that these are RP PvP servers as well, so you better be at least a little bit into World PvP. Equally worth a mention while we're here is that Hardcore has also started up again as well. That will be on Defias Pillager on North America and Stitches on EU. For Era though, there's a reason that Deviant Delight and Zandalar Tribe were picked. It's specifically because they are RP realms. Now I'm not saying everyone going back to these servers is going there for RP, but you may see it a little more often than what you're used to. You see, back when Classic Era was made, when we were moving into TBC, what happened eventually is that all the PvP servers and all the PvE servers were bundled into these server clusters where you were playing with people across all those different realms. It's kind of like what you see in retail where there's people from different realms everywhere, but this had to happen as back when this decision was made, the population of Classic Era was not looking too good, and ultimately this has been a good thing in the long run. This did not happen to RP servers because there was nothing to bundle RP servers with. If you were there for the RP, you couldn't just be put together with a PvP server because essentially that's a different type of server, and Blizzard have stuck to their guns on that, so good for them, and ultimately it's led to us being able to use those servers now to stimulate a fresh. This more or less meant that these servers were 99.9% dead, and the chance that level 60 copied characters from Era still existed on them was pretty low. And I'd say the fresh movement is still relatively small at the moment, but it's definitely growing. At one point in time, Classic Era was pretty small, and it's been healthy for a good amount of time now.
It's really hard to tell exactly how big this server is, Divide Delight, because you don't have Warcraft logs. Most people are leveling. Most people are not raiding or actively raiding. So it's really hard to know like how many people are level 23. Unless you want to sit there. I guess maybe later today we could sit here and we could make a spreadsheet /who level 1, /who level 2, /who. We could do that. It would take like an hour, probably longer than an hour. You'd sheet it all, you'd organize it. You could do that. That's probably the best way you could take a look at this.
We'll have to start back out somewhere after all. And it's more than just for the nostalgia, I'd say as well. That fresh feeling is genuinely just a great, timeless gameplay loop. And if this whole thing was just nostalgia, it would have run out of steam a long time ago. We're here 5 years after Blizzard's official vanilla release, and who knows however many other servers have released their own vanilla fresh over the years. So why is this happening now though? Why is now the time for fresh? Do you remember when Ulduar came out in Wrath Classic, and at the same time Classic Era started growing? And a lot of people said, it might be because the raiding's starting to get a bit difficult, and that's ultimately not what people are looking for. Well, at the moment we have Cataclysm, which I can only assume has been a catalyst for this movement, as it represents the most sweeping changes this game has seen so far. From gameplay systems, raid difficulty, and of course...
It's like, this is not a mystery. People in 2017, 2018, 2019 that were championing and pioneering Classic WoW, we want Classic WoW. It's not because they wanted to play fucking Cataclysm. It's because they wanted to play Classic Vanilla. That's why. And maybe, okay, TBC and Wrath, okay, tolerable, it's the trilogy, okay, we'll move on, we'll do that also. But it was never about Classic Cata. It is to no one's surprise that Classic Cata has ended up being pretty much a fucking flop. Not exactly surprising.
Of course, the updating of the entire old world. And you know the craziest thing about this whole vanilla fresh thing happening now? It's happening during a seasonal server for World of Warcraft, Season of Discovery. If that doesn't kind of tell you that Blizzard might have gone a bit too far to...
You know what just popped in my head? Cata is already on the back foot. It's not doing very well. Cata is really going to suffer when Phase 4 of SOD comes out. SOD and Cata has a huge player base overlap, no doubt. When SOD Phase 4 comes out, you know a lot of people are going to drop Kata. They're going to drop that shit like it's hot.
Alienate the original vanilla players, then I don't know what does. But at this point in time, Season of Discovery is very much its own thing, and I'll need to do a review on that when all is said and done. For real though, I think this movement could have even begun midway through Wrath, and Wrath has overall surprised a lot of people with how far it took the game from its original format. And in retrospect to the Lich King, well, existing in that expansion, kind of carried it pretty hard for a lot of people, and kept it true enough to that original trilogy feeling. And I'm sure in a few years' time we're gonna start seeing posts online of people saying, man, I miss Wrath of the Lich King. It's happening with TBC at the moment. Over the past few...
Unless Phase 4's DOA, which is likely. Phase 4 has a guaranteed 4 weeks of fun. Like even if you don't like the SOD changes, even if you think, oh, Phase 4 is like, they didn't even add anything really that cool, whatever. Still, regardless, Phase 4, even if it's bad, and it probably will be, still has 4 weeks of guaranteed fun.
month there's been a huge amount of posts cropping up about people missing that version of the game, and it's just like what happened with Classic Era initially. When it first releases, it's completely dead because we've just played the game, we're not going to go straight back to it again, but you give it some time that goes by and it turns out that people will want it back eventually. So how is this fresh thing working then? Well, the community made fresh servers that I mentioned earlier are stimulating how a new server release would go, and at least content pacing wise they're delaying a bit between each major tier.
Dude, you know what? Dude, I'm really curious. Hold up. Something just popped in my head. And I have to know. I have to check. Do you think people are trying to buy Deviant Delight Gold? Are people buying gold? Deviant Delight Gold. Okay. Oh. Let's do past, like, 90 days. What happened here on the 3rd of July? Why this? What the fuck happened? Can I do 30 days? That's it. Yeah, I was going to pull up a gold buying website and check what the I'm not going to do it on stream, but I'll take a screenshot of it. Okay, so buy Classic Era Gold. I'm going to do this in incognito mode because I don't even want this to be on my fucking search history. I'm scared. Buy Classic Era Gold. Okay. All right, I'm on the top site. I'm on the #1 site. Oh, I found it. Alliance. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay. Okay. So, if I want to buy 1,000 gold on Divide Delight. Yeah, do you guys have any promo codes I could use for this? Dude, no shot. Okay, this is on Divide Delight right now. If you buy 1,000 gold, it's $151 USD. This website says that they've got 7.2 million gold. 7.2 million gold ready to be sold right now on Divide Delight. Okay, hold up real quick. What if I want to buy all 7.2? Hey, Charles? Charles is my top guy. Charles, what do you say? What do you say we go in on this? Hold up. 7.2. There. Okay. I think I got my number of zeros correct. All right. Okay, listen. If I want to buy all of the gold on this entire server, I need to spend $108,000. Let's call it $109,000. It's really not that bad. That's not that bad. We can set a donation fund. It's going to be good, easy.
So each phase has some time to breathe.
Dude, you know what would be the most based thing to do? Oh, am I missing a zero? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Then it would be $1 million, right? Then it would be. Okay, chat. Listen, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raise $1 million. We're gonna buy all of the gold available on Divide Delight, and we're gonna delete it. We're gonna delete it. Okay, but I need you guys to give me money. I need someone here to donate $1 million, and maybe I'll see what I can do. We'll think about it. But first, go ahead and send me the $1 million. Okay? And then no promises, but we can like maybe we can think about doing that, okay? Go ahead and send the money though.
And Blizzard are very much aware this is going on, you know. They even stopped transfers to these servers from other era realms to prevent fully max-geared players with thousands of gold, disrupting the natural flow on these effectively fresh realms. Then again, pretty much every fresh ever starts hype right at the beginning and up until the first few weeks of Molten Core. And then it tends to be a few weeks into Blackwing Lair, pretty much everyone who was there for the hype-up period at the start tends to gradually drift off, and you're left with the real vanilla enthusiasts for AQ40 and Naxxramas. It kinda goes to show with vanilla, the leveling bit and the prebis bit is great and is ultimately pretty timeless, but the end game tends to see a bit of a drop-off.
This is the reality of vanilla. The second vanilla is no longer focused around Blackrock Mountain. The second vanilla WoW endgame is no longer centered around Blackrock Mountain. The game dies. Blackrock Mountain is the pillar of the world. It is the navel of the world. It is the center of the world. Blackrock, this entire game is all about Blackrock Mountain. And the second Blackrock Mountain is no longer holding this game together. People don't care about Blackrock Mountain anymore. Oh, we're going to go to AQ. We're going to go do... No, it's over. It's dead. It's dead. Blackrock Mountain is the fabric holding this game together. In fact, if you want to make Vanilla WoW better, you know what you do? You say, okay, you want to go do ZG? Yeah, well, the new instance, the only way to get into ZG is to go through a portal that we have relocated inside Blackrock Mountain. You want to do Naxxramas? Guess what? The Naxxramas portal, guess what? It's inside Blackrock Mountain now. You need to go to Blackrock Mountain in order to get into Naxxramas. We moved it. We changed it. That's the best thing you could do for this game.
Maybe Seriously. This isn't just vanilla though, these are just MMOs in general. Whenever do we not see a new release these days which is super hype, and then you wait a few weeks and the player base is halved? Maybe that's just how things are and we can't avoid it. And that vanilla endgame does demand quite a bit of time to be invested. You need to go and farm gold to get your consumables, you need to go and collect your world buffs, which most people will get even if they don't really want to. There's very much an established class meta. If you want to do damage, I hope you picked Warrior, and of course there's the prospect of ranking again, and I'm not too sure if Battlegrounds are going to be starting other than holiday weekends at the moment. So this fresh thing happens and it inevitably repeats some 18 months or so later. So the thing is, why isn't Blizzard getting involved? Why aren't they answering the call of fresh and making these servers a reality themselves? Well, they did block transfers to the community project servers for this fresh project. One thing I do have to comment on though is timing. If Blizzard came along and released fresh, it's only going to be fresh for a relatively short period of time. One thing I hope that was learned from Season of Mastery is timing is pretty critical. We have Phase 4 of Season of Discovery in about a week from now. We have Cataclysm out, which is going along. We'll probably see Firelands pretty soon. And there's even the War Within afterwards. Fresh vanilla now really has to be for the people who are going to drop everything for a fresh, not for the people who would try it out if there's not really that much going on at the moment. And at the moment, there is a lot going on, I would say. And if
Okay, here's the unfortunate reality. SOD, everyone says SOD is dead, it's so dead, it's dead. SOD has 37,000 active raiders right now. Blizzard is not going to release an actual 2019 Classic Era Classic Fresh until that number is 0. Do you understand me? This number needs to be 0 before Blizzard even considers. Meaning SOD has to not only be dead, it has to be buried 6 feet underground. It's dead, it's buried, we had a funeral service, everyone is mourning. it's been cremated. Okay, SOD, it has to be done with. It has to be totally fucking over before we get Classic Fresh. Guarantee. Legally, we had the fucking what's it called in the newspaper when you read SOD was a nice version of the game. It offered new runes, and yeah, you have to have the fucking obituary. We have to be sitting here reading the obituary, okay, before we ever get Classic Fresh. Being dead is not enough.
Blizzard decide the dates, they kind of have to compete with their own games. In fact, if Blizzard did release Fresh now, I guarantee you people would say, why are you doing it now? This timing is terrible. Whereas a community-driven Fresh can really just be whenever enough people agree on it. And if you want in, word of mouth usually does enough to get a decent population in there. It's a similar deal with Hardcore, except Hardcore is generally a bit more solo play friendly due to the nature of the challenge, so there wouldn't really be a point doing Fresh Hardcore realms. As for not putting out new Fresh era servers, I don't think it's cost related. There were over 24 Classic era realms collecting dust for well over a year before people started going back to them. I'd assume costs start happening the more people are on the servers, not just purely the existence of the servers. Maybe Blizzard thinks Fresh is risky. I mean, Classic era took ages to get going again, but then again Vanilla has proven itself the most timeless version of WoW. Or perhaps it's just not as simple as we're all making it out to be. Imagine if they wanted to do era realms for TBC or Wrath. Each game would need a different client installed and would need to have its own place on the Battle.net launcher. We already have WoW Classic with all its different versions and Kata and retail on there. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't have a TBC or Wrath section on there as well, but it just might look a bit messy perhaps. In any event, the servers we have at
It already is, bro. It already is so fucking messy. Just fuck it. Who cares? I would never play era TBC or era Wrath, but it's already really bad. So not only like within the clients themselves on the Battle.net launcher, you've got all these different fucking betas and PTRs. You've got Classic, Kata, Live. And then you boot up one of these versions, then you've got Seasonal, Classic Era, Hardcore. There's like 6 or 7 legitimate versions of WoW that you can play. And so anytime someone hops in my Twitch chat, hey, I haven't played, hey, first time chatter here, I haven't played World of Warcraft in 9 years and I'm looking to get back into it. Which version of WoW do you recommend? It's like, I don't know. Also, and then I have to explain to them, like, okay, let's say I tell them you should go play Season of Discovery. I have to explain to them how to even do that. How do they even imagine you haven't played WoW in 10 years? How the fuck do you even find where that is? It really is all very, very annoying. It has gotten very annoying.
At the moment, stimulating that fresh experience may not be truly fresh, but I think a community movement to make them happen, at least right now at this point in time, is ultimately the best thing for them. And for me, the main issue I'd have is simply the point in time that they've chosen for these servers to take back off. Ultimately, fresh isn't fresh for too long, and there is quite a lot of other things going on in the Warcraft universe. But if one fresh movement's happened now, I'm sure there will be another in the future at some point in time. So is this whole fresh cycle just going to go on forever on Classic Era realms? I mean, it may.
You know what's insane? I don't know, maybe you guys have a similar memory. This was 2009. It was the final patch of Wrath of the Lich King. People are 80. And if you remember, the final patch of Wrath, it was like 12 months long. This is ICC patch. It was so fucking long. It dragged on. People were bored. It was in that patch that on my server, there was a guild of level 60 twinks. Because in Wrath, you could turn off your XP, right? I always forget about this, but this is actually, I spent like 2 months doing this in 2009. We twinked at level 60, and we went back, we're doing Molten Core, we're doing Blackwing Lair, we're getting our Dire Maul buffs, we're farming all the 5-man dungeons. I was part of a level 60 fucking twink guild in 2009. And it was awesome. Of course you're playing with all the Wrath talent trees and stuff, of course. But I guess it's emblematic. Around the time Wrath comes to an end, what are people thinking about? At least what are some people thinking about? Man, I want to go back and play vanilla. And this has been going on since 2009. They're saying, man, maybe vanilla was pretty good. I want to go back and play vanilla.
May well do if Blizzard doesn't provide anything which is actually new. And we've seen with vanilla and different versions of World of Warcraft that after enough time passes, people just want to go back and play those games again with a clean slate to see how the classes played at that point in time, the raids, and just to be part of the world which existed back then. Almost like a little bit of a time capsule. People have been playing World of Warcraft for near enough 2 decades and vanilla for about the same amount of time. so I don't think the idea behind enjoying Fresh is going anywhere anytime soon. I only think the mysterious Classic Plus could really disrupt the cycle, but maybe we're getting another seasonal server after Discovery. We'll have to wait and see. But if you have been feeling that feel for some good old vanilla once again, it's Deviate Delight North America or Zandalar Tribe EU. And for Hardcore, Defias Pillager North America and Stitches for EU. Those are your servers. If that's something you want to do, they're going to be more active now than they will be in a while. Maybe Blizzard will answer the call one day and do their own.
And are the servers active? Can I play on these very active servers? Can I play on these? Oh, wow, I can. Okay, we'll see how long until the servers crash again.
Version of Vanilla Fresh. But if you've been wanting to go back, then those are your choices for Vanilla. Let me know if you've been trying out the Fresh servers, whether you've been thinking about going back to them at all, and do you think Blizzard should invest the time in putting out their own Fresh servers, or some kind of servers on a rotation? It doesn't even just have to be for Vanilla, it could be Vanilla through Wrath of the Lich King, for example. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below. And thanks once again to Elder Scrolls Online for sponsoring the video today.
Thank you.
You'll be able to find the links for them below as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening in, and I'll see you all in the next one very soon.
Remember this, dude. Remember this.
And I'll see you all in the next one very soon.
Look at that. Remember that? Look at that. Goated.